Okay, might as well bring this out too. Okay, why? This is gonna be quick. Why you should get out of a relationship? It's when it's toxic. When someone doesn't respect you, that's not grounds to have a relationship with this person in any shape, way, or form. When someone who thinks with all their heart that cussing you out when you make a mistake or don't agree with them or for whatever minuscule little reason, big or small, it's okay to treat you like garbage. And I mean like, well, if you look at it this other way, it's like no, this is clearly when it's obvious this person has no respect for you. When they scream in your face, when they cuss you out, there is no grounds for this. You should not put up with this. When people scream at you, when they put you down, do not say this is something worth fighting for. When somebody believes that this is their, not necessarily right, but like place in the world, this is what they do and this is normal, this is their baseline, no, do not put up with that. You are not your worth is not that to be screamed at, to be yelled at, to be sent paragraphs of text messages saying why you're the shittiest person on the planet when you've done nothing. What did I do? I didn't do anything. It's when you stand there, and you made the tiniest of mistakes. Whoops, I dropped that. It's an honest to God mistake. You're not being mean. You're not being, an asshole. You're just being a regular person, and then this truckload of shit just comes down upon you, and it's like, I do not understand this. And you think this is your place to take it? And again, relationships are complicated. Relationships are difficult, and they're dynamics, and they're complicated people. But trust me, when you have honestly done nothing wrong, and someone believes it is okay to unload a truckload of shit on you, don't just leave. Just leave. Even if you feel you're too dependent on him, just find another way. There's always some other way. Don't just stand there and take it. You don't deserve that. And yes, I am speaking from experience. I've had many tyrants in my life. And no, I'm not speaking of, well, if you look at it a certain way, trust me when I say these are tyrants. These are people who are assholes. Because they thought, because they're adults, that they can kind of do what they want. Because to them, they think, well, this is my baseline. This is just how I am. I will be annoying because, it's a necessity. No, it isn't. When someone comes home at 2 in the morning or 4 in the morning, and is loud and obnoxious, they say, well, I'm coming home from my job. I can't be any quieter. Like, you could try. You could apologize. You could look like you're giving a shit about our emotions. Well, there's nothing we can do about it, so I don't care. I've got a lot of that in life. Well, what can you do about it? So I don't care. Well, that makes me feel loads better. Oh fuck! If I had a dollar for every time some adult has done that to me, where it's just, well, what are you gonna do? So why should I give the emotional response for that? When they, if it's a what are you gonna do thing, it's like care, care that it bothers me, care that you're making me feel like shit. That and I do something. I might get some water later. But that's the thing, is that people don't think they're assholes, probably because no one really tells them. No one's really taught them, you're being an asshole. Can you stop doing that? I don't think they've gotten that enough in life. Where enough people tell them, you know what, you're not being a good person. People have to have that hammer home. They have to have this, repeated to them a number of times to realize, hey, maybe I am being a jerk, or being insensitive, or annoying. It's when that repeats enough times to get it through their head. Because another thing is that people are adults or self-policing. There is no higher authority. That's why a lot of adults think they're right when they're not. It's because, well, I gotta be right because I'm the adult. I'm the most experienced. I have to be. And then when they're not, it's like, well, then what was the point of all this years of learning if I make a single mistake? It means you're human like the rest of us. You make mistakes. But the adults think, well, I can't make a mistake. I clearly didn't make a mistake. It's like, really? Because the situation right there behind you says otherwise. And it's not something if you can look at it a different way. Well, if you look at it, turn your head and squint, maybe it's not. It's like, no, it is. This is a situation you created. It's not anything else. And they'll stand there and say, well, clearly I didn't make a mistake. And adults are like that because they think they've grown enough, that they know enough, that they're capable enough. They don't doubt themselves because they have no time to doubt themselves, and they'll give in to other problems. Then it's just a slippery slope to, to all this other stuff, and I don't have time. They don't have the time for me to start doubting myself. It's like, no. Take a second and think, maybe, just maybe you're wrong. It's okay to just take a second and rethink your situation. Don't doubt yourself all the time, but take in the fact that maybe, just maybe, you could be wrong. But a lot of adults aren't like that. Because they're trying to protect themselves and everyone else by being right all the time and, being all this and that. And they think they're being mature about it. No. Tyrants and tyrants and tyrants. And I keep coming across these people and I kept wondering what's wrong with you. It's like, well, I'm still a good person. Yeah, you do good deeds, but it doesn't make you a great person. That just means you did a good thing for this one situation or a couple situations where you did the right or a good thing. But how you react and respond to life and situations tells a lot about who you are. And I'm getting a lot of shadow over here. Sorry. And generally when you watch people and they don't really act like adults and they act like a child who has authority, that's called a tyrant. When they overreact to something, or they're petty about something, or overly demanding about something. When I went to Comic-Con, I had to feed the dogs. Yeah, that was my job. I had to feed the dogs. Not that, someone else couldn't do it. It's that was my job. I was dictated to this. It's like, I'm on vacation. I gotta drive down to San Diego, and you're saying, well, Greg, you gotta go, and you gotta go feed those dogs. Which means I had to, the next morning, on day 2, drive 20 minutes from our property into town in Temecula, at the which is now the Super Walmart, buy a bag of dog food, drive back, feed the dogs, and then drive back through town to get on the 57 south to San Diego. Yeah. That was my order for the day. Because I gotta have that responsibility in the midst of everything else. Okay. So, and I don't think I was just laying about or no. This was in the middle of the first 6 months of my mom's. Well, 6 months since she's gone diagnosed and having chemo. So in the midst of taking care of her, I needed to just step away from this whole situation for a few days, just to not have this be present in my everyday thing. So I went. So I wanted to go to San Diego, and this was this whole thing where I just had to feed these dogs. And it's like, I don't have any money. I barely have half a tank of gas, and that's hopefully to get there and back. You know, I was spending the night in the parking garage. Surprised I wasn't really arrested for that, but whatever. And the thing is, I wasn't showing a whole lot of sympathy. I was showing some kindness, but I wasn't showing any sympathy. You know, and people think, well, I'm being kind. It's like, because I do these great and small, you know, the small and big, great, you know, good things. But they're not good people. You know, it's all about your character. It's how you go about this. And you think you're being an adult and you're being true to yourself, and it's like, well, what's wrong with me? Everything! Everything's wrong with you because you're an asshole. You know, and just people just will not see the truth of themselves. They will not hold up this mirror in front of them. Oh, they'll hold that up. They'll hold up the mirror up to you, you know, all day long, or every time they get an opportunity, they will shove that mirror in your face, because I've had it done to me countless times throughout my life, where people will say, now, Greg, you screwed up right here. And I'm like, yes, I know, I was there. You don't need to point that out. But when they make a mistake, they just gloss over it. And even if they know they're aware of it, they'll just pretend it's not even there. Well, this isn't about me, this is about you. And they get offended. The adult challenges them, the adult points it out, that they're human too. People can be so mean, petty. They don't care who's sitting behind them. You know, they don't care what they're doing is annoying or inconsiderate, nasty, or mean. That shit happened to me by proxy or whatever, you know, by coincidence or whatever, because they don't think they're being mean. They think, well, I'm just watching a movie. Do I really need to hear this fucking movie in the background? Loud! Crazy loud. You know? Well, I wanted to watch this movie. I find it very, you know, very interesting and stuff. And I'm like, I don't need to hear this shit. I really don't. Not that it was a bad movie. It was just... the subject matter was just heart-wrenchingly saddening on a personal level. Because it was subjugation. Which is what my life was. It was subjugation. I had to be forced into doing all this stuff. I was browbeaten into stuff, and you know, when you feel the victim of subjugation in your life, and you have a movie screamed in your face about subjugation, it doesn't make me feel good. All right, I'll do this in another 15 minutes. All right, so. I really need to get that water after this. But that's the thing. No matter how big or small your annoyances is, your good deeds are, be mindful that there are other people around you that you might not think this is annoying, but that person sitting right behind you does. And maybe, just maybe, you're not being kind. Make that what you will. All right. See ya.